up, what up, what up? It is your co-host Vero Fuerte back at you again with another episode of In Living Spanglish. And joining me, of course, is the one, the only, the master of hot sauce. But don't let him catch you putting it in your ice cream, folks. It's Ricardo Mexicano. Say what's up.
That's pretty disgusting. You know, I can't imagine Valentina Tapatio Cholula in your ice cream. Now, if it was specially made, you know how like chamoy is like spicy. You know how like there's that stuff Mexican.
But like
sauces.
chamoy is like a miraculous concoction of like sweet and spicy and tangy.
It is.
Like it's not just pure spice. It's not just pure heat.
And that's my point. Like if it's like specifically made for your ice cream and it's spicy and it's sweet and all that, I'm cool with that.
But chamoy would only go good on ice cream if it was like sherbet or something. You know, you can't like. Have you ever had chamoy with like vanilla? Or chamoy with like German chocolate?
It has to be fruity.
See, well, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But okay, all right. So we already know, like, you and I have a video idea for something coming up that you refuse to participate in.
But I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see about that. But anyway, so did you say hi? I didn't think you said hi.
Yeah, Ricardo Mexicano. You already know what it is. Mexican Natsu, man. Mr. Steal Your Girl, Mr. Don't Give Your Girl Back. Baby R baby, all that.
All right. And and on top of all of that, we're going to hit you right now with the LatinX Birthdays. So September 23rd, we had two icons of the Latinx community, if you will. We had one. Let me double check here. Yeah, we had one, Julio Iglesias, doesn't need an introduction. And this one doesn't also need an introduction, but we're going to give it to her anyway. September 23rd, happy birthday to my mommy. A beautiful, vivacious, vibrant 45. So shouts out to her. I hope you had a good birthday, mommy. You already know I called you and all of that. So, I checked off the good daughter box. So yeah, happy birthday to those two.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Julio Iglesias, man. Doing big things since 99, I believe. Coming out of Spain. The guy who did the song Rico Suave, he's the one that actually signed Julio Iglesias.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he signed him. And then, of course, shout out to Veronica's mom, man. Best wishes. Still very young.
That's what everybody kept saying. Every time I would talk about her this week, they'd be like, oh my God. And I would say how old she was. They'd be like, oh my gosh, she's a baby. And I'm like, well, yeah, she had me when she was a youngin' herself. So,
yeah, I guess
youngins.
She's like in that threshold where it's like she's now in the category of like 40 to 100. So like 40 is now like 2 years old for people who are like 80 and 70.
But no, pero de veras, I mean, that just goes, like, you've seen that, like, meme or that post shopping around on Facebook and stuff, where I guess the moms that have their kids, like, super early when they're teenagers or 17 or 16, they say, yeah, you guys are laughing at me now for, being pregnant at 16, but I'm going to be, sipping Mai Tais by, Puerto Vallarta while you guys are over there, like, cradling babies on your hips when you're 50. Yeah. So I guess my mom has some good years ahead of her.
I mean, I don't know. It depends, because I think there's a part where like you kind of like didn't have to worry about kids so early on. So now you decide to have kids at 40. And what do people always tell you? Don't have kids super young, right? So it's kind of like a lose-lose like situation. Like people,
I don't know, but you know what I keep thinking about in regards to that? I feel like sometimes they do have a point, because think about it. Like, when would you rather enjoy your solitude and like being by yourself more? When you are young and broke and you don't know what the hell you're doing, or when you're like nearing 50, like 40 something, like already have, some sort of like steady flow in the bank account, already are on some sort of path, already kind of feel responsible and somewhat together, in some cases, and you have all of your birds out of the nest, so I think there's an argument to be said for that. I see their point, but shit, like I could not imagine having kids right now. How did we get onto this conversation?
Your mom.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
your happy birthday, mommy.
All right, we want to move on to the first order of business.
Yes. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and jump into now, human beings, is we are going to hit you with the one, the only Chico the engineer interview. We were lucky enough to go ahead and be able to grab him for a special exclusive
Exclusive.
yeah, exclusive interview here on the Living Spanglish podcast. He is, what is the name of his studio again?
Music and Focus.
Music and Focus studio here in Fort Worth, Texas. So he has had the likes of Baby Bash, XB Valentine, Smooth Vega, and several
Snow the Product.
Yes, Snow the Product
Paul
also.
Wall.
Big names go through his music studio, and he has a crazy story to top it off. So go ahead and enjoy the interview.
So we have somebody very special. He has his own creative. Would you call it like a creative studio?
Yeah. Creative
Yeah.
slash family slash.
Yeah, just all around creative person. His studio is Music and Focus. It's
Yes.
Jose, Chico, Santiago. Do you prefer Chico?
Yeah, I prefer Chico.
Okay.
Everybody call-
Okay. Well, welcome to the show. It's great to have you. So if that, before going into like your actual like your professional career and like what you do on a daily basis, do you kind of want to give like a little bit of like well, hold on, before you even do that, do you want to like introduce I'm Ricardo, ILS and Living Spanglish podcast. This is Veronica.
Probably should have done that before.
Yeah, we should have done a little bit before, but
Start again if you want to.
no, it's fine. No, we'll keep it. Yeah. So yeah.
Vero,
Yeah, Ricardo,
okay,
Veronica, Vero.
Yeah,
We're all acquainted and everything. But I just want to like just kind of get into your little brief history of like kind of like where you are in your space now. Like, 'cause we were kind of like, doing a little bit of research. We saw that, originally you kind of started like this whole journey back in like 2004, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You want to speak on that?
So yes. So my name is Jose Santiago, but they call me Chico the engineer. So I, like everybody, just started from way back 2004. I went to school for it. First I found my passion. I didn't know what to do. So like I always grew up on the hip hop and all that stuff. And then after that, I found myself. I'll start like making beats for people. People was rapping. I had all my friends at school that were just rapping, and I started making beats and recording them. And until one day I was like, you know what? I just gonna take it serious. And I started falling in love with it, and then I haven't stopped since 2000. Let's say 2008.
2008. Yeah, because I think you said
I kind of like found myself, and we're like, you know what? Let's do this.
Because I think in your article that I read that you had with Fort Worth Weekly, I think you said you went to audio engineering school in 2007.
Yeah. In 2008, I went to it's called Media Tech Institute in Dallas.
Okay.
And then from there, it was like a 2-year thing. But I wish I wouldn't go there. Because nowadays, with everything on YouTube,
yeah,
that's what I was about to say. Is how much of the information that you got from that school that you probably had to pay like a good couple thou for is completely outdated now with YouTube and everything.
Then,
I was like, man, I wish they had YouTube just like they have it now. So, but that is what it is.
But I mean, also sometimes when you go to school for something, and a lot of people won't admit to this, is that if you don't have, sometimes you have to spend the money to like put that extra motivation in order to like really stick to it, because I mean, you can learn anything through YouTube, but that means that we should all be savants and know how to do, play the violin and, how to computerize like, all different stuff, but we don't, so it's good that you went to school for it because, that's like an extra motivation to complete it.
Oh yeah, for sure. People look at you different whenever you say, "Hey, I went to school. I had a diploma." Okay, they take you more serious than just like just being years.
Yeah, but initially, I think when you first, because you're originally from Puerto Rico, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so when you moved, I think you moved here when you were 16, right, with your uncle?
Yeah. I moved on when I was 16 here. I didn't know no English, so I was ESL class, what I'm saying? I had
shout out.
Yeah. So shout out to all the people.
So what was the why did you originally move? Like, what was the reason?
So we needed to change. It was kind of like, we're kind of struggling in Puerto Rico,
Mhm.
and they say, hey, my mom was like, hey, you want to move? I was like, I'm 16. I don't have no say so. So it's like, I want to. It was like, dale.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah, and I just find that so interesting because you think about like immigrant children that move over here with their parents or their uncles, and they're usually pretty young, like 8 or 10 or something like that, and you were 16. So, and because you didn't know any English, I'm curious to know, like, what kind of music did you first fall in love with when you first moved into the States? How did you fall in love with music in general if you couldn't understand what they were saying?
yeah. So in Puerto Rico, I was like reggaeton.
Mm-hmm.
They listen a lot of like rap,
Mm-hmm.
you know, United States.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you always like I was being in that culture, in that urban culture all
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
the time. So moving down here, so I didn't know no English, and then like I just keep with my urban stuff, say with the reggaeton and
Mm-hmm.
all of that, and then my my friends from school, there were some black friends, I had
Mm-hmm.
some Mexican, they were kind of urban, but
Yeah.
I always stick to the urban. That was like me.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe if you didn't understand the language, the style and the soul of it
Yeah,
translated.
yeah,
Yeah,
translate it, and
Yeah.
yeah.
then and then like and then it's crazy because like that helped me out big too because the slang,
Yeah.
the slang of the music. And I was like, why you say on this and what they saying? And I used to like put the little captions and
Yeah.
saying, read the lyrics, guide the books, and just reading and asking my friends. And my friend that would teach me, hey, you should say, what's up, fool? Or you should say like this, and that. I'm like, okay, like you know what I'm saying? But
So.
then I have my other friends, my let's say my Mexican friends, and they show me, hey, qué onda,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
all of that. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And
You got
and then
all
in
of it.
my
Yeah.
language,
Yeah.
like in my language, hey, what's up, Bobby? What's this? So it's like a little bit of
So.
all of them
So,
together.
so was that like was your initial interest like when you like were listening to hip hop back in Puerto Rico? Was it more like East Coast like
Yeah,
before coming?
they're more East Coast. So
Yeah.
if you ask, ¿dónde están todos los de Puerto Rico? They're
Yeah.
like Nueva York, Orlando,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
barely people here in Texas.
that
So
sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah. So was it kind of different when you got to Texas and you realized like, oh, there's hip hop here, but it's a lot different.
Yeah, it's that
yeah,
Houston
yeah, for
sound. It's a
sure.
Yeah.
different
Yeah. Yeah.
sound. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For sure. But it was cool because it just opened my mind. Like, oh man, it's just way different, and we can stand out, and it don't matter. I still love, what I'm saying, I still love the
Yeah.
urban side. So
Yeah, because I met a lot of like Puerto Rican people from like the East Coast, and then they'll like listen to like something from Texas, Louisiana, and then they'll fall in love with it. They're like, oh man, I love the chopped and screwed style. I love the Swisher House stuff. I love all that, and they kind of like take it back and like kind of like you kind of saw that with like ASAP Rocky and like a lot of like newer
yeah,
artists
yeah.
that kind of took the style from down here and like made it kind of like their own thing. So
Because I feel like the hip hop of the East Coast is, it's like you have to like have a lot of knowledge and
mhm.
speak words and be on the bars and all of that. And the South made it more, more a little. I say real, but like what I'm saying, more,
more like melodic.
yeah,
Yeah,
melodic, slow it down,
slow it down. Yeah, yeah,
more of the words. So it's a good combination.
it's
Not
very
everybody's
different.
like
Yeah,
on the bar stuff, but
and sp-
I like both. I like both. I
And
really like both.
speaking of that though, like I think I think you initially said you were like really wanted to become like a rapper at first, right?
Not a rapper, but I was a beat maker. I was a beat maker. I
Okay,
really
so you went into production a little bit more
Yeah,
first.
yeah. I
Okay,
was a beat maker.
okay,
I was a beat maker, and then from there, like the thing with the engineer, everybody want to be an artist. Everyone want to make
Mm.
beats, but nobody want to sit down and record.
hmm
Nobody has the patience
yeah,
of that. Everybody want to be in front of the camera. Everybody. So I was like, you know what? That's just me. I just like to stay behind and just help people, help with the sound, and then I just find myself. And then once like I fix some songs and I see the reaction on people, and they were all happy and all of that, I was like, oh, that's what I
yeah.
like to do.
Do you think that there's definitely like a personality difference or different personality style between someone who aspires to be a rapper, or even nowadays aspires to be a producer, versus someone who wants to be an engineer? Do you feel like it takes more patience, you have to be more laid back, that sort of thing?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because a lot of these, a lot of there's a lot of engineers they rap too and stuff like that. But I think engineers is more like on the just like I say, just patience, know how to work, know how to deal with artists.
Mm.
Because when you
Mm.
work with artists, it's a whole different like.
Yeah, you're like the therapist of the studio. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So like everybody, all the artists come through here y ahí están diciéndome los
Yeah,
problemas
yeah,
and
yeah.
desahogándose and all of that. So you had to like go through that. Okay, we're gonna do this song. We gotta express yourself, this and that. But that's why you gotta have a lot of patience and.
Yeah. Vale. So
Hmm.
I have a question for you. Okay. So for someone that knows nothing, next to nothing about engineering, a total noob, right? So how would you describe what it is that mixing and mastering is if you had to break it down in layman's terms?
Okay, the mixing is kind of like when let's see come on, it's kind of like for the girls like put makeup on. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You're natural, you put in makeup on, and then the mastering is like whenever you're ready to put the perfume.
Ah.
You know
I
what I'm
love
saying? I'm
that.
out to be out there. You know what I'm saying? But the
Yeah.
the hardest part is to put in the makeup on.
Okay.
That's the way I see it. Cause how long it takes to put your makeup on?
You're married, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm
That,
married.
that, that that's why I can tell. That's why he went for that analogy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So,
so funny.
because I think, because I've done like my fair share of research when it comes to like mixing, because I've always thought it was so interesting just how like something that's so important in the music making process doesn't really get talked about a lot, right? You know, it doesn't really get a lot of shine. Um, so like, how do you feel about the space now? Like for a while, like producers have been able to like kind of establish themselves and like been like out in the camera, you know, be more visible when it comes to like being like a well-known name. Like, you know, you hear Just Blaze, you hear like, you know, Swiss Beats, which I saw was like one of your favorite producers.
Yeah,
Like these,
Guru.
yeah, these people have like made like their name. You know, like even with newer people like Metro Boom and Zaytoven, like they're like they're known people. But with mixing, you know, there's a few names, you know, specifically in hip hop that kind of get talked about, but it's about the same ones. Like you hear about the Mike Deans, you hear
yeah.
about I know DJ Quick. He was a big one when it came to like All Eyes on Me for Tupac. He was like I know he engineered most of that. Ali for Kendrick Lamar and TDE. Who else?
I think now with thanks to the social media, you know what I'm saying, we'll be able to now, post it and and be more out front.
Yeah,
So a lot of these big engineers, that's like the platform now. And, you know what I'm saying? Now we just gotta show our stuff and
yeah,
trying to get more credit. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah. I think it's dope that a lot of these like big artists, rappers, like really champion their engineers. You know, you'll hear them in interviews talk about like, oh, I'm nothing without my engineer. Like if I'm in the studio, if I'm recording, all I need is an engineer and that's it. I don't want nobody else in the studio. You know?
yeah, not, even the artists now they prefer like the engineer more than producers, because producers, you can send the beat. You can
Yeah.
produce, make a beat, send it to the artist, and then the artist it'll be just me and him, just working. So
Now,
like the relationship that you build with the artist is like it's like real special.
now
That's
are
really
you doing like are you kind of like all in house? Are you like are you the recording engineer? Are you the mixing engineer and mastering?
Yeah, most of the time, and not I got a lot of clientele. Okay, just mix and master,
Okay.
and a lot of like all three or just mastering. It just depends. It so depends the artist. And nowadays, a lot of people have their own setup at home. A lot of people they record everywhere and then just send me the songs, and I'll try my best to make it sound better.
Yeah.
Sound better.
But
Sound good.
you've had your studio music in focus for a long time right now, right? Since like 2010 or
Yeah,
something like
2000.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so from what I've been reading, a lot of prominent people have gone through there. Snow the Product, Paul Wall, Baby Bash. Um, and I guess like my question is there a signature way of mixing and mastering that is distinctive to the person. You know, the way that people look at producers, and there's a distinctive way that they do their beats, like Kanye did with like Chipmunk Soul and Boom Bap, that sort of thing. Like, can you tell? Oh, I can definitely tell. So and so worked on this. Worked as the engineer on this project.
It's kind of hard. It's
Yeah.
kind of hard. I think our sound or our signature is the relationship with the artist and
Mhm.
how comfortable they are. Um, and like I say, just everybody's different. You know, you got one artist that likes the music, the vocals real high and the beat low, and you got another ones that are backwards. They like the beat real high, real low, but
Right.
it's just more about just the relationship that, you know, take their idea to the next level, because that's what I'm trying to do, trying to take their idea to the next level. I'm not trying to change it. If I, you know, if I have to change it, I'll change it, but I try their idea, their todo lo que
Their
vengan con
vision,
sus
sí.
cosas y llevarlo a otro nivel.
Sí.
Porque si no se enojan.
No, sí es cierto. Do you ever like just drive around in your car and like hear like a song come on the radio, or maybe just, you know, on your streaming like Spotify or whatever, and you hear it and you're like, oh man, this was kind of mixed bad. I could have done a better job. Like, did that ever come?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I heard that all the time.
Yeah,
That and
don't
I was
drop
like,
any
oh,
names.
man.
Yeah.
We'll bleep
Yeah,
it
no,
out. It's
I
okay.
heard a bunch of stuff, but probably la gente will do the same thing to one of my songs too. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Like, oh, man, that's some trash.
Everyone's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it really goes to show, like, once again, the importance of an engineer, because like I think there's time where I've listened to like songs, especially like back in the day, like on mixtapes, where like you could tell that the it probably wasn't mixed properly all the way, but it still sounds good because it's just a good song. But then you hear like a Kendrick, you hear like a Rihanna, you know, an Adele, and you're like, oh man, this is how music should sound, you know?
Oh yeah. I think like once, like, just for every artist that out there they're doing it, once you like put your first song, or like, I always tell all this to the artists siempre. Once you put your first song out there,
Mhm.
you're competing against everybody.
Mm.
They're in the same string form as you. They están ahí, so like they're your competition too. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So you had to step up. You had to like get better, and you had
Elevate
to
yourself,
get a
sí.
better sound quality. Si quieres competir with the big artists.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might have a hot song, but everybody's putting budget behind it. So either, you know, you can take a chance, or everybody had to step up. It's it's like it's part of, you know, part of the game, part of the music business, you know, behind music production and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, just like starting with a little producer and then get a bigger producer or another feature or alguien grande. So, you know, it's part of the game. It's part of the game.
Yeah. And so, con tu music studio, Music and Focus, how did that come about? How did you go from, going to school to wanting to do this? You went to school first before you started your studio, see?
No, yo empecé with a little group.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, like, once, like, I was making beats and recording, but once, like, I found myself, que dije, no, like, this is what I want to do. I was like, okay, I had to step up to another level. And I was like, okay, let me go to school, let me take it more professional, and just go from there. Mm-hmm. So I had to, I made that decision once I found what I like.
And being a studio focused here in Fort Worth, do you find yourself wanting to give back to the more local artists? Do local artists approach you a lot saying, hey, you know, this is the guy to go to if I want my music to sound really good?
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah, I was trying to help the local, like, I'm not a guy of like about budget and money, because todos pasamos por the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I started from the little room in my apartment, the garage, you know what I'm saying? Now, thank God, gracias a Dios, tengo un estudio. Pero todos empezamos de abajo. So, like, cuando me vienen unos local artists, hey, I'll try to help them out. Either if it's recording, or si no, con ayudándolos, or whatever I can do just to help them out, because yo pasé por eso también. And especialmente like Latinos, I try to help them a lot too
Sí,
because
especialmente, sí.
I feel like the urban side, es para los negritos. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're getting up in there poco a poco. So I'm just trying to help, whoever wants to really work, I'll help them.
Yeah.
Have you noticed a big shift in the Latino artists that come to you or that just are coming up in general in Fort Worth when it comes to the music scene?
I think everybody got their own lane. You know what I'm saying? I think like Latino artists got their own lane. I think everybody got their own lane. We just gotta like push harder. Really, just push harder and then dale better quality, so we can make some noise and compete. Because really, we just competing.
Yeah. Do you ever like I said, kind of like earlier when it came to like producing being like a really cool thing now that a lot of people want to do. Do you like try to like encourage like let's say like younger people who like maybe still looking to like maybe want to get into music but they don't know how? Maybe they just think that being a rapper, being a producer is the only way to get into music. Do you ever speak to like folks that are a lot younger and let them know like, hey, you can also do this? This can like also get you a space in with these big artists and like you really have a name for yourself and still have a well career along the line.
Oh yeah. All the time. Every time like I record somebody new or every time like que necesitan ayuda, que they ask me, I tell them what I know.
Yeah.
Tell them what I know. If they don't, si no lo hacen, that's their that's their, their problem. But I always been a guy like I like to share my whatever I have, just share it. You know what I'm saying? I'll share it to the young people, to the people that they're lost in the game. I share whatever I can, and that's me. That's just me.
That's good. You got anything else, Vero?
Let's see.
Hey, es que en Independencia de México, ¿no?
Yeah, it is.
Sí, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Happy Dia
De la raza. Yeah.
Is Puerto Rico, was that yesterday? Puerto Rico, was that yesterday?
No.
No. Puerto Rico, they only have just the regular, el día de que descubrió Cristóbal Colón, just there.
Really?
Eso los que no traen su propio día de independencia.
Yeah, no.
No. Oh, okay.
Sí, porque es a territory.
It is a territory.
Sí.
Yeah.
Son
Okay.
de the shackles of America todavía.
Yeah.
Okay, pues I guess otra pregunta, like you said you came over here with your uncle, right? So how was it like leaving your mom and your dad and your immediate family behind? And just like I said, I have family that came over here when they were 4 years old, or when they were adults. It feels like it's either always like one or the other. They're really young or they're already in their adulthood. How was it like being a teenager and not just changing schools, but like changing entire countries?
Yeah, no. So I came with my mom. It was just me and my mom. But we went straight to my uncle's house. And I can say it's just like totalmente diferente. It's like boom, like wake up, like like you the whole. Siempre me acuerdo like el primer día que fui a la escuela. I went to Haltom High School. I was a junior. So siempre me acuerdo que entré. Like no, mi mamá me dejó the first day. Boom, she just dropped me off. And it's like I felt like somebody like slammed me in the face. Hey, like wake up, like this is a whole totally like
whole different world.
Yeah.
Sí.
Like entro a la escuela and I see all these like people, like big people, so fuerte, like que si son football players y que si all kind of stuff. I was like, wow, like la escuela, like super grande, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, like en Puerto Rico, tú tienes que usar el uniforme. Aquí, like, I was like, I didn't know they
so
were
you
like,
have to actually get style and stuff. Sí,
Yeah.
sí.
Like, man, I need to get a job para comprar ropa para the whole, para the whole.
Estilo propia.
Yeah,
sí.
look fresh for the school. Yeah.
Cool, and everybody, I was like, oh man, this is a whole like the whole different vibe. But I like it. It was different.
Entonces, si recuerdas, and then do you remember what was the first album or one of the first albums that you can remember listening to and falling in love with while you were here in the States?
So mi grupo favorito, it was the Cash Money. When I got here, like the Cash Money. So like I was like se llamaba era Juvenile and Lil Wayne. That was like,
Yeah.
oh, that was like my that was it,
Your
because
introduction.
it was 2000, so tenía la canción like back that ass, so you know, so that
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was like,
like
so that was the Carter. So like Go DJ and stuff like that, right?
DJ,
Yeah.
Juvenile, and
Yeah.
todo eso. So that was like my go-to, you know what I'm saying? So
Y entonces, ¿a cuál edad? And then, at what age do you remember actually going from just enjoying the music to noticing when it sounded good, when the levels were right, when the EQ was a certain way, all of that?
I think once I start working, so once I start getting my clientele y empecé gente just coming back and somebody referring to this and somebody referring to this, ahí que empecé like, oh wow, like this is like it's working. It's something is is working. And then we hit it on the radio too. Oh, I hear myself on the radio. Oh, that's badass. You know what I'm saying? And then I see these other artists that I'm working, just like they doing better and stuff like that. So I used to record Snow the Product. I don't know si saben quién es Snow the
Yeah.
Product.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
When she was down here, I was her engineer. So, you know, that to me, oh man, like I'm working with her, and you know what I'm saying, and people, and then from there, just more other people that's coming, and just refer me hablando, and that's how I lost my age. It's just working. I just gotta
Yeah.
keep going.
It starts to snowball.
So did you know Snow when I know she's like independent now, but did you know her before she got signed to Atlantic back in the day?
Right before. So I worked with her when she moved down here. So all the way hasta que she got signed. Once she got signed and all of that, then say.
Yeah.
But we real cool.
Oh
real
yeah,
cool.
no, yeah. No, she's an amazing artist. Like, yeah, it's crazy just how
Absolutely.
her career's kind of gone. You know, she's had her ups and downs, but you know, it's good to see that she's still shining. She has like a big fan base.
Yeah, she's doing really good. I'm proud of her. Her work ethic. Oh man, it's like she works. She's a.
You have to.
So, this will probably be my last question, and I'm pretty sure you have another one after this. But, I know you said that you wish you could have had like what is available nowadays when it comes to like learning like how to like mix and engineer on YouTube. But but do you still think it's like important for like people who aspire to be engineers, audio engineers, to like kind of have like that fundamental, like kind of like the basics down?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe YouTube, I think learning in YouTube is cool for like, you know, if you're kind of lost, you just go there. But like, you still need to be in the studio. You still need, you know, be next to somebody, because those vibes and those, you know, it's better just be next to, you know, to.
Doing will get you a lot further than just, you know, sitting in front of the screen and trying to learn it.
Sit in front of the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you normally working in? What DAW are you, like Pro Tools or?
Pro Tools, yeah. I'm a Pro Tools guy. I grew up in Pro Tools guy.
Okay, so you kind of got that down packed.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Y dijiste que that you like to give muchos consejos, or you know, to young artists that'll come through and you know that'll listen and that will ask for your advice. So if you had to give a piece of advice to a young up and coming like Latino artist out there, you know, who just walks into your studio and says, "Hey, you know, like I want to work with you. I have the drive. I think I have the skills." What would you tell them as far as what the next steps are?
I say lo primero es like it's gonna be a lot of sacrifice, a lot of sacrifice, y mucha gente te va a decir que no. And as a Latino, if you're in the rap game in inglés,
especialmente,
way harder. It's way harder.
Yeah.
Si estás haciendo español, it's still a little hard, you know, a little bit less harder, but now it's just like you just gotta go hard, you know, just go hard, and it's just your work ethic. It's your work ethic, you know. If you got kids, you got girlfriend, you got this, it's like you have to make a balance, and then you gotta stick with it and believe in yourself. And stay out of trouble for sure.
Yeah.
Stay out of trouble for sure. Just you know, just being paid. lo que tengas en la mente, just keep going, like just keep going on, and but it's gonna be a lot of sacrifice, just a lot.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. You
Yeah.
got anything else?
No. I
No?
think I'm good.
All right, man. Well, Chico, man, I appreciate it. It was a pleasure having you on. This was great. Do you have anything else you want to say?
I'll say thank you for having me. This is my first podcast interview. Gracias.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Gracias con Vero,
absolutely.
Ricardo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
See,
Gracias,
see.
Nelly.
And where can
anytime you're
people
welcome.
find you?
Y'all can find me so for the studio is musicinfocusstudio.com. And then if you want to go my personal, y'all can hit up Chico the Engineer and on Instagram, Facebook. I don't post much, but
Yeah.
it
But, yeah.
just post.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good, man. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
yeah,
Once again, man, thank you for everything. It was an honor. Super different. Like I said, this is the kind of stuff we're looking for. So, you know, I'm glad you took the time out of your evening to come talk with us, man. So, yeah. You know, wish you the best. And yeah, thank you for everything.
Thank you guys, and hey, thank you for y'all keep representando los Latinos, and thank you.
Yep.
See.
All right, peace.
Yep.
And we're back. We hope that you enjoyed that interview with Chico the engineer. Thank you again for coming on, Chico. All right. What's the news, Ricardo? You had a topic for me today?
Yeah. So I feel like sometimes, and this kind of goes back to like the very mindset of like being children of like immigrant parents is like kind of like almost taking for granted what you know
Mm-hmm.
in a way. And by what you know, I mean more so like influence of like what makes you in the way of like, yes, of course, art and culture has been around for a very, very long time. But when we think about where our parents came from, majority of them came from poverty, if not extreme poverty. And when you come from a situation like that, it's very hard to think of anything that you would want to do that doesn't bring food to the table, right?
Mm.
So it's like you may be interested in, and even then, most people only think about sports, right? When you're coming from countries like that, the only way you see out of doing something that's like viable and financially stable is to become a very, very good soccer player. Most of the time, you know, because that's the dominant sport down there. But even then, that's like a very, very, very slim
Yeah,
margin.
I would know most people like geared towards be a doctor, be an engineer, be a nurse, that sort of thing.
Right. But of course, stuff like that costs money. And we know how expensive it is to go to school, including in Latin America. So even though you may be wanting to do these extravagant, maybe not so much extravagant, just these dreams, these goals, because you probably were never exposed to certain art, to certain people, because all your focus was on, I don't have a dad, I maybe don't have a mom, I probably don't, maybe you don't have either parent, I live with my aunt, I live with my uncle, and I have to provide
With the
food.
abuela.
Yeah, with your grandmother. I have to provide food, and that's all I could think about, working. I have to get up 6 a.m, even though I'm 7, to go work in the field.
Mm-hmm.
And with us, we have our own struggle, of course, but we have the privilege of the influence, you know, especially with the internet age, you know, being able to sit down and research, look up artists, look up how somebody created like a company, stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it's a very interesting concept. What do you think?
I don't know. I think that people talk a lot about like white privilege, and white privilege is a very much real and dominant thing. But something that most folks are sometimes afraid to talk about is privilege within our own communities, you know, because there is varying degrees of that, because you can grow up, brown and middle class, or even like you said, something as literally fundamental as brown in a more third world country and brown in America. Like that in and of itself, like literally where you were born, something that you have no control over, automatically lends you that privilege, even though you guys are of the same race. or
Mm,
nationality? I don't know. I know that you get hung up on these words, Mexicano. So I don't want
I
to.
would say
I'm walking on eggshells every time I talk about this kind of stuff when it comes to
how
you.
about elk? The same like elk.
Oh my gosh, what the hell does that
I
mean?
don't know. I just heard people say that before.
So okay, all right. Well,
You come from the same cloth, the same loin.
sure,
You know,
sure. Race, nationality, ilk, coin, whatever you
a,
want to call it.
it's a conglomerate of all
All
that.
right. All right. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, no, so I get what you're saying as far as that goes because we all have varying degrees of privilege. In fact, like I actually joke around with a couple of friends of mine a lot because my mom she was a single mom, so she had to like raise the both of us like all by herself and stuff, and because she worked so much, she didn't really, when it came to cooking, literally, I tell you this all the time. I grew up on ground meat and tortillas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is literally the only variation of food. And every once in a while, she would stick the ground meat together with an egg and, like, make us hamburger patties. But basically, that was it. Ground meat tortillas. That was our source of carbs and protein, and that was it. Um, but I know other friends that even though they were probably lower on the like socioeconomic standards, they didn't have quite as much money as my mom did later on. Their mom can cook like crazy, bruh. She throws down in the kitchen insanely. Like, even now to this day, like, I will still try to find some sort of excuse to like conveniently visit them during Thanksgiving era so I
Mm-hmm.
can have some of her Dr. Pepper turkey or whatever it was
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
So, and I tell them all the time, it's like they they have that privilege. They have good cooking privilege because they look at food as like, oh, I can make that. It's not that big of a deal. I don't have to go to this restaurant. I can have that wherever. And I'm like, yeah, because you grew up with that food. So, but me, I get super hyped and super excited about any sort of food that's like deemed fancier than ground beef because I didn't have that growing up.
Right.
And I actually think that's part of what makes me such a big foodie is like that background. And I know that's like a super silly, minute like privilege in like a playful, funny way, but it's just like a small example of what we're trying to talk about in a larger
No,
scale.
it makes sense because it's exposure at the end of the day. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
were finally exposed to things that were not so much lacking, but like that you just never had a chance to experience. So now that you
Yeah.
see it, you're taking full advantage of it. And
There were certain vegetables I had never even heard of until I was like 19 years old and out of my mom's
you
house.
still don't know what a rutabaga is.
I mean, who the hell knows what a rutabaga is?
It's like a beet. It's like a cousin of a beet.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
the more you know.
It's something like that.
Mhm.
But no, like, just think about like I said, music and stuff like that was out there, but like, where was the access? Like imagine if your grandfather knew what a Van Gogh painting was,
Mhm.
and like to like really appreciate it,
Yeah.
to look at a Dolly painting, to listen to
The
a
power of influence.
yeah, to like really analyze, a muddy waters riff.
I mean, and even something smaller than that, like, I mean, if your parents spent or grandparents spent the whole time working, then, and like they were below a certain socioeconomic level, they may have never even had a radio,
Yeah.
And so you think about that, and you think about like your grandfather could have been like a really like fucking fantastic bassist, but he would have never known because he would have never gotten inspired because he would have never have heard like that one song or whatever like that, and that's I think that is something that isn't really talked about a lot, is like the power of influence when it comes to that kind of thing, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, my mom always said that when she grew up, she had one little black and white TV, and all she would watch was either Chavo de Ocho or Cantinflas movies. That was it.
Cantinflas.
When it came to
Is that the Chespirito thing? What's Cantinflas?
Cantinflas is oh god, why can't I not remember his name right now? Super famous, the one with the super small mustache. He was like pretty much like the
That's Charlie Chaplin.
Chaplin of Mexico.
I've always considered Chespirito to be the Charlie Chaplin of Mexico.
No, like Cantinflas. That is.
I don't know who Cantinflas is. Okay, all right.
Look
the
at the image. Like, right now, when you have the chance, look it up. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Let's see.
he is probably, when it comes to like the golden age.
I bet you it's one of those things where like as soon as I see his face, I'm like, oh, I know
Yeah.
who this MFer is. Let's see.
As soon as
Mexican
you,
comedian. Oh
yeah, of course,
yeah, I have seen this
yes.
guy.
Like he's like when it comes to the golden age of like Mexican cinema, he's it.
Mario Fortino
Yeah,
Alfonso Moreno
yeah,
Reyes.
yeah. Mario Moreno.
Ah,
Yeah, Mario Moreno. Yeah,
with the
that's him.
5 names.
But like I said, I say that, and of course, I'm not obviously that's not the only thing she watched, but that was like the bulk of it.
Mhm.
And to this day, that's all she really cares and like likes. Like she watches other TV, of course, but like when it comes to like her childhood, that's all she ever references. And she'll watch it to this day when it's on. She'll watch the
And
Cantinflas
you know what?
marathons
Like as far
over
as
and over and over.
Chespirito and Cantinflas is like very pure style, like sort of slapstick comedy too. That actually also probably influences her as to like why every time like you and your brother sit down and watch a movie, she's like, just make sure it's not violent, honey. You know.
I mean, those movies back in the day, even though they weren't violent, they still had their
I mean, Tom and Jerry is violent as hell, but it's also like
animated,
considered,
so that's why it gets a
no,
pass.
it's also considered, like pure innocence, or I don't know.
I think it became that way as time changed because Tom and Jerry, for example, was shown in cinemas. Tom and Jerry was created before TV was even invented, so it was shown at the beginning of
I didn't know that.
before a feature length film aired. They would play Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes cartoons at the beginning to keep the audience like entertained.
Oh, so they were like Pixar shorts.
Yeah, in a
like
sense,
to
yeah.
what they are to Disney movies now.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's how cartoons were back in the day. They were catered towards adults for the most part. You know, they weren't like super overly sexual or I mean they were violent, but they weren't. They kept it in a pretty like tamed
no,
way.
bruh. You see Tom lusting after that white kitten.
No,
bruh.
like no, I'm saying like there's certain. It's like it's all about the subliminal, right?
Mm-hmm.
You throw in certain themes that only adults are gonna understand.
Mm-hmm.
But you watching that as a kid, because as time changed, people looked at cartoons like, oh, this is just for kids. Let's put on Boomerang, Cartoon Network, and show it to them. It's not till you're older you're like, oh, because they would be smoking in those cartoons. They'd be smoking, they'll be drinking.
But also, like, smoking wasn't considered like
it wasn't taboo.
cancerous and all that stuff until like the 70s.
Right? Yeah, it wasn't taboo at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Anyway, so that was like your animated Did You Know section of this podcast. Totally impromptu.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That's all it was.
Yeah. And now, actually, a story that I've been meaning to tell you, Mexicano, because I don't actually remember whether I've told you this already or not. Because you know me, I try to like save most of the juicier stuff for the podcast so I can get like your first-hand reaction, right? And you hate that.
What Veronica's trying to say is she doesn't talk to me, even though we live under the same roof.
That's right. Not at all. Like I literally, it's completely silence until these mics. We only pretend to be friends, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, but okay, so I don't think that I've told you. Okay, so first off, like we have been meaning to like sort of like put a precursor before every interview that we've been doing this month since September to tell people explicitly part of the reason why we were so passionate about like interviewing all these movers and shakers in Fort Worth was because of Hispanic Heritage Month, which starts when, Mexicano?
It started September 15th.
Right. Okay, so it started September 15th, and, we just wanted to give back to the community and give back with some exposure, some light, some clout, some flowers to all of these people here in the community. So we've been doing that. But in the midst of all that, your girl still got to live her life. She still got to run her errands. She still got to go to Target. So a couple of days ago, I walk in a Target and I go by the clothes section, which I normally I adore because even though I can't buy anything there because it's too expensive most of the time, I like to window shop. And what do I see but a bunch of billboard poster things with Happy Hispanic Heritage Month written all over it, but underneath them is there's these blue hoodies, these teal blue hoodies, and all of these different corals and clay reds and all of these gorgeous colors that I love and I dig. But on one of the shirts in big red letters it says Hola with an exclamation point. And I just didn't know how to feel about it. I'll be honest with you. And okay, and I did I already tell you this? I feel like I've already told you this.
Yeah, you mentioned it a little.
Okay, because again, with me, I feel like let's first establish the elephant in the room. There is much bigger fish to fry. I know that. But there's just something so completely grating when it felt like it was completely and utterly for the purpose of like marketing to make a buck.
Well, ironically, did it feel like you were being, no pun intended, that's what I meant to say. Did you feel like you were being targeted in Target?
Yes. Yes, actually I very much did. And I mean, and that's just what drives me crazy because like for a second I thought like this is what like black people must have felt like in like 2016, 2017, you know, like when they had that whole like just I mean, to put it simply, like commercial comeuppance, you know, in like the media and everything like that, and everybody just wanted like all black everything, and they suddenly like being inclusive mattered so much, you know, specifically towards the black community, and then it was like Asian Americans for a little while, and now like you and I talk about this all the time, like it's really Hispanics right now are being put, and you and I can feel it in the ethos in the universe. I mean, at the very least I can, that Latin Americans are really being put on a pedestal of sorts, you know, and just brown really matters right now. And there's gonna be, it's good and it's bad that comes with that, and also it's annoying as fuck. And to me, to see a big blue hoodie with the words oh, because think about it, who are they trying to get to buy this hoodie? Like that's just what I'm thinking. Like, would you buy that hoodie for your ma, Mexicano?
Probably not. But I don't buy her stuff in general. So, like, that's a different topic.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Like, so you said it was red? Or it's blue?
I mean, the color doesn't matter. It's the big letters across the chest that says "Hola" with an exclamation point.
And that was it?
Yeah.
Just letters?
Yeah.
No image, no, like, little girl?
I mean, there's like a rainbow in the background, but yeah.
Is there any, like, a person?
Nope. It's just a rainbow in the background with "Hola" and exclamation point.
I don't know.
You know, and no, because it would have been like, it's, to me, it's the equivalent saying of like, ay, 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 ay. And with, I don't know. It's just like.
I think there's a big difference between
I
ay,
don't
and
know.
hola.
I don't know. But why? But this is
No.
what I'm thinking. Who would wear that shirt?
I feel like anybody would actually wear it.
No, it's definitely.
To be, because you don't, do you understand how?
I'm giving you such a fish eye right now.
No. Do you understand? Like, cameras are seeing this, all right?
Yeah.
You forget that.
No, I don't.
Like, cameras. God, why am I saying cameras? I think you forget how intertwined Spanish is when it comes to the United States. Like, not.
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
No, I'm saying like Spanish has existed as far as like within the culture of the United States forever. As far as like people speaking, people being around it, people knowing what hola is, right? Your typical white American.
Why are you saying it like that? But okay, continue.
Your typical white Anglo-Saxon American.
Yeah, hola. And they also know the collective like 5 curse words in Spanish that they teach each other on the school bus. Yes, continue.
Yeah. I feel like it's more targeted towards them, to be honest.
Towards white people to celebrate Hispanic Heritage
Not
Month?
does Spillivi say celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month?
Yeah. It has like little boards all over it and it says Happy Hispanic Heritage Month.
I think white people still buy that, to be honest, because they want to, because you know it's trendy, you know, to be inclusive, to want to like support, to be the ally.
Okay, so fine. So answer me this: how would you feel if you saw like Chet like walking down the street, blonde hair, sandy blue eyes, y todo, with a bright blue hoodie that said "Hola" across the chest?
I wouldn't think anything of it. It says hi. It's hola,
It's
Vero.
weird. I know, but you don't think it's weird?
No, it's hola. Now, like, if it was more specific, like something that was like very specific or like almost something offensive, then obviously I would have like, you know, things to say.
I just think it's corny. Like, that's the best word that I can use. I think it's corny. I think it's cheesy. I think it's weird. And maybe that's because I don't use the phrase corny a whole lot. Maybe that's what I'm trying to emote. Because I just think it's corny. It's
Okay.
like, why does that need to exist?
So what
because if everybody already knows the word, like, it's like nobody wears a t-shirt saying hi on the front.
I'm pretty sure there's t-shirts out there that say hi.
No.
There's a lot of t-shirts out there. There are t-shirts that say random words all the time.
Oh my god.
No,
now you're literally, why are you trying to advocate for the devil right now? I don't understand.
No, I'm saying, why does the devil need advocacy?
Exactly.
Like, I just think that it's not that. I can see it being a problem when you're trying to pander, but the shirt within itself.
It is. It feels very. It feels very. It starts with a
Like,
P.
I'm saying, like, I think the shirt within itself is whatever To me, the shirt's not the thing. But where the time is being sold at right now, I can understand that. I get that part.
It's the culmination of all of it. That's what I'm saying. Why would I set up this entire conversation and set up the whole idea that we're doing it in Hispanic Heritage Month if that wasn't part of the whole story?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's say they still have that shirt on sale beyond Hispanic Heritage Month. How would you feel about it then?
I still think it's weird. But the matter of the fact is that like I first saw it like after September 15th.
Okay. And I get that. Like I said, I understand.
I just think it's corny as fuck. And like if I see you walking down the street, like you can do whatever you want, whatever makes your heart happy, so long as you're not hurting anyone. You already know my philosophy on that. People can do whatever the heck they want. I just think it's corny. But who the heck cares what I think?
Wear the shirt as much as you want, folks. Vero's not gonna do anything to you.
Exactly. Except think you're corny.
Except give you the biggest side eye of your life.
Except think you're corny. I mean, and if you're cool with that, then I'm happy you're happy, bruh.
I mean, I guess it's kind of like the equivalent of like people who get random like Japanese or Chinese words tattooed on them, like that,
yeah.
Or like
I wonder how Asian Americans feel about that. Now
they
that
don't get
I'm thinking about it.
I've heard a lot of them just understand like, and some of them are fine with it, but they just don't get why. Like, why would you want something like that?
Exactly. Thank you.
That's all it is.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
And I mean, like, and this thing.
So see, now you've come. Like, now you're on my side. Now you understand.
I'm on nobody's side. I'm just trying to, because this can be applied to many things, right? We can have like we can have something written in Sanskrit and like Hindi, right? And you may think it's like a cool T-shirt, but let's say a Hindu actually look at you and be like, "Yo, you don't know anything about that.
Exactly.
Like, why are you wearing that?
Exactly.
But you think it's cool.
Thank you for coming back around.
No, I'm saying you specifically. Like, you think it's cool and you don't think it's offensive, but somebody might take offense to it. So
yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, somebody might buy that Hola shirt just thinking, "Oh, this is nice. This is cute. I want to wear it. I know Spanish pretty well. I appreciate
the only people that I can think of like having a passable, like, okay, I can see why they would want to wear it is people like my best friend, Spanish teachers.
I'm about to say like Spanish teachers and like old white women.
Why do old white women get a pass?
No, I'm not saying they get a pass. I'm not saying they get a pass. I'm saying that they would actually wear it.
But why?
Why would they wear it?
Yeah, why?
Because they like tacky stuff like that.
Well, it sure as hell is tacky, I'll tell you that. Tacky and corny, bruh.
Because to be honest, I don't think people your age are actually buying shirts like that.
No, they're not.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's going to be like somebody who's out of touch and like a lot older who's going to get a shirt like that.
So then why are they selling it in the teen section at Target?
I don't know. Somebody's going to buy it eventually.
I'm telling you, like, bad marketing. But, like, they're obvious. No, not even bad marketing. That just, where they're selling it at the time they're selling it at and who they're trying to advertise it to, like, obviously means that they intend for, like, younger people or even middle-aged people to, like, be interested enough in this to, like, want to buy it. Or else it would be in the old lady section in Target.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay.
So the moral of the story is, little kids, don't be wearing Go Diego Go t-shirts that have Spanish written on them, or Veronica's gonna punch you across the soccer field.
Yeah, that's the moral of the story, folks.
So don't wear anything.
Don't be tacky. Don't be corny.
Don't wear anything with Spanish writing on it around Veronica.
Don't wear an Hola t-shirt, please.
Specifically Hola.
Yeah, it's so weird. And see, and now like we're being sucked in because I feel like now we're saying the word weird. Like I feel like you're saying Hola weird, and I feel like I'm saying Hola weird, and like you know how it's one of those things where you say a word over and over and over, and it just sounds really strange. I'm so over this. I'm so over this
I
conversation.
don't see a problem with the word. I don't see a problem with
what
the
are you
shirt.
talking about? You just literally argued both sides of the thing.
No, I inherently don't see anything problem with the shirt or the.
So do you have a problem with Asian Americans like having like thinking that us wearing like Chinese lettering or is strange?
That's strange, but like just the word "hola" on a shirt is not gonna make me feel any type of way. It's just saying hi on a shirt.
So do you think it's weird? What I'm asking, do you think it's weird that Asian Americans feel some sort of way when we get tattoos of their stuff?
Yeah, because it's like they're trying to make, because Americans are trying to make something meaningful and spiritual out of a symbol that just is water, right? Out of calligraphy that just is water. Hola to me is just that. You can't make anything else out of hola except hi on a shirt.
I don't know. I feel like they're trying to make it into the new howdy.
It's hola, Vero. It's just saying hi.
I don't understand. I just don't understand, and I'm sticking to it. You guys can be tacky as hell, corny as hell all you want, but I think it's weird.
For the people who buy it, just stay away from Vero. That's it.
Yeah, just say. I mean, do whatever you want. Do what makes you happy. Just know that I'm gonna think what I think. Whatever. All right.
Okay, so after that rambunctious takedown of the word hola,
Not the word, just the publication of the word on the T-shirt.
let's move on to a fan-old favorite. Something that's near and dear to my heart. Stuff that keeps me up at night. You know, sweating profusely. This is conspiracy, esquina, corner, somewhere your mom be hanging out of. Whoa, did I just say that? I did, because corner. Conspiracy corner. Yeah, let me stop. Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
What?
No, nothing. Continue. I'm gonna let you finish.
Did you like that intro?
I'm gonna let you finish.
No, that was it.
Mm.
All right, conspiracy corner. So, my conspiracy corner for this week is the concept of the brain in a vat. Have you ever heard of this?
No, I have not.
So, brain in a vat, to put it simple, is kind of goes back to this whole thing regarding simulation theory.
Mm.
That we all live in the Matrix, essentially. That we all live in this like computer. Everything's being programmed. There's like a puppet master behind the scenes, making sure that we're in line, that we do as we're told without us being aware of anything.
Is that what the Matrix was about? Fun fact: I've never seen the Matrix.
Yeah, it was about you breaking out of the system. About Neo being the chosen one.
I know that there was like a red pill and a blue pill.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what they mean?
Something's like super real, and something like everything's already pre-programmed into you, like predestined or whatever.
If you take the blue pill, you're just continue with life as it is, and you don't care. Take the red, you're exposed to the truth.
Cool.
Yeah. And that goes. Have you ever heard of like the red pill, blue pill thing on the internet?
Yeah, like it's like so many people make rap songs about like
on the internet. Like, do you know like internet slang when somebody been like, "Oh, you've been red pill," stuff like that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, that's a topic for a different day. I just want to know if you knew.
Mm-hmm.
But brain in a vat. So this is kind of like a theory that says that take your brain right at the moment that you're born, I guess as a baby, or just take some random brain, put it in a jar essentially, hook the fiber and the membrane up to a computer, and that computer is simulating your whole life. So
has anyone actually tried to do this?
No, but that's the point. Like, I'm pretty sure. I think I don't know if there's been like experiments. Maybe there hasn't. I haven't gone that deep into it. But on a very surface level, it's stating that you could have been living your whole life up to this point thinking that you were completely in control of your decisions, what you ate this morning, how you got to work, what route you took. But all that has pretty much just been simulated through this computer who's giving your brain instructions.
So literally, it's just. So what you're telling me is that this conspiracy is just an idea that someone thought up of that nobody's actually made a study on.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why it's a conspiracy.
But no, conspiracies are based off of some sort of like skewed logic, but logic nonetheless. You know, it's like the people who don't believe that we landed on the moon, but they have all this evidence as to why they believe that.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that believe this. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know too much of what the evidence is, but there are people that believe that. Like I said, if you want a basis, it all goes back to simulation theory. Mm-hmm. This is just kind of like another layer of the simulation. This is just kind of like a filter to get to simulation theory. But simulation theory is the catalyst. So if you research simulation theory, you'll kind of understand a little bit more of like how we're controlling, how we're in computer. But yeah, that's it. So like this conversation right now, if it was true, it's just being fed to us via a computer, right?
Bruh, I wish I had lines fed to me through a computer. I could probably talk a lot more smoothly than I already do.
I mean, maybe the computer had a virus in it.
Yeah, definitely. My computer most definitely has a virus in it.
Yeah, so
yes.
Oh no, it's a crazy concept to think like from your earliest memories, what you think is so natural, your feelings, your emotion, you crying, has just been information, ones and zeros converted from a box into your brain.
I mean, that want to be a very simplistic way to like break down like our emotions, not only that, but just like our souls in general, because that's something that me and my friend were actually talking about the other day. I was trying to figure out loud, because there's certain things in this world that science can't explain, or that
Right.
we don't know that science has the capability to explain yet. And one of those is like, we can kind of explain emotions. We know what part of the brain lights up when we feel this or that or the
Mm-hmm.
other. But what about like our specific interests? Where do those come from? Is it a nature versus nurture thing? Like our soul, like is there like, can science explain if there is one, and if so, like what part of our brain is it stored in, like this, that, and the other?
Yeah.
So I mean, to believe that we all come to believe that all of that information is like is all comes from a supercomputer is actually pretty much the plot to Code Lyoko, my favorite childhood show. So yeah, I'll take it, Mexicano.
Yeah, I think the fact that you like Kolioko that much is probably a malfunction in your computer as well.
Well, I think that you're wrong about that. It's a great show, you guys.
So yeah, if you enjoyed this topic, make sure to do a little bit more research yourself and just kind of maybe realize
Find an
that
actual study instead of something that Ricardo randomly found on the
hey,
internet.
there is no scientific data behind this. I'm just
Uh-huh.
presenting conspiracies
As they
are, face value, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just realize that your brain may be somewhere in the middle of Nevada in a warehouse, and none of this, what you're experiencing right now, you think you had a daughter for 18 years? Nope, she was never real. All right, Vero, what we got? I think this may be our final thing, right?
Yep. You know what? You love it. It's somebody's favorite segment of the show. I don't know. It is Good Looking Out. This is where we go ahead and we hit you with all of the things that we've been into this week. Usually TV show or a movie, doesn't necessarily have to be. Can be music, can be, a book, can be whatever's clever. So what do you have for me, Mexicano?
So, my Good Looking Out for this week is a show that I think premiered maybe 2 months ago at this point. And I remember seeing it because one of the main co-stars.
And you kept this from me, right? So I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't think you know. One of the main stars is somebody I have a big crush on, Cecily Strong.
Why does that sound
from
super
Saturday
familiar?
Night Live?
I think I know who she is.
She was in a Triscuits commercial too.
Cecily Strong.
But her, along with the funny Keegan Michael Key.
Mm-hmm.
You know him from Key and Peele fame, from Mad TV.
Yeah.
Been in this industry for a very long time. They are in a new show called Schmigadoon. Schmigadoon? How do you pronounce it?
The hell is I know? Say that again.
Schmigadoon. Yeah, Schmigadoon. That's what it is. Yeah, they're in a new show called Schmigadoon. And the premise, without giving too much away, is that they are a couple that I think has been married for like maybe 4 years. Mm-hmm. And their relationship is starting to kind of get on the rocks.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. They're hitting that not 7-year itch, but like 4-year hard mark.
4 or 5 year, yeah. So they decided to go on this like hiking couples retreat kind of thing. Middle of the woods. They're there for like a couple days.
Is this a show or a movie?
It's a show.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's on Apple TV. Mm-hmm. So they go on this trip, and I think on the final day there, it's a crazy like storm. And they're like both walking through the woods. They're lost for hours, and it's like raining. It's all sorts of terrible, right? And eventually they come across this like very like weird gray cloud. And once they step through the gray cloud, they're in like this magical, wonderful, colorful, almost like Wizard of Oz sense, old timey looking town, right? And everybody immediately starts singing, dancing like this was like a musical.
Like a musical?
In real life. They think it's some sort of like, oh, this is like one of those like reenactment towns, where people just sing at you and like, come at you all the time. And they're like, they have a song ready and they're going to be in character the whole time.
It's like a secret mashup.
Right.
Like the ones I've always wanted for my birthday.
Right. So they think it's something like that. So they're going along with it. Crap. What was can you look up the show right quick? Or just, I'm trying to remember
What was it called again?
Schmigadoon.
How the hell am I supposed to autocorrect?
Just type in Cecily Strong. You'll find it.
Come on. Oh, look, it's got an 80% on Rotten.
What's the go to the cast names? So I know Cecily Strong name I think is
let's see.
Maggie.
There's Keegan Michael Key.
What's his name?
Aaron
Joshua.
Tveit.
What's his name? Joshua.
Josh Skinner.
Josh Skinner. What's
Dub Cameron.
what's Cecily Strong's name?
Melissa Gimbel.
Melissa. Okay, yeah. So
Ooh, Kristen Chenoweth's on here.
yeah. There's a lot of people from SNL on there.
Yeah.
So they both go along with it. Josh is a little reluctant because he's like, yo, I don't really like this. I don't like musicals. I don't want people singing to me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But what's her name? Maggie?
Melissa,
yeah. Melissa is like, no, I think this is really good. We should like just stay here. And so they go to sleep.
Because that's how all horror movies start. But yes, continue.
Yeah. So like the initial introduction, the whole town folks is like singing to them, and they're like I said, a little weirded out, but they're going along with the flow. And they eventually stay at the hotel in the town, and they were supposed to go out that night to go on like a little date, but Josh overslept, so she left on her own, and she went to like this tunnel of love thing, very that Hey Arnold scene when they're on the swan.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like going around the little river at the fair or the carnival.
Yeah.
She goes to like there, and there's a guy there who's like the town bad boy, the rapscallion. That's what they called him in the very beginning.
Is he like leaning up against the wall in a James Dean
Up
jacket
against
and like snapping?
He doesn't have a jacket.
Like a Sharks and Jets sort of moment.
Jets
and Sharks. I don't know.
He doesn't have a jacket, but he is very much, I guess, he's not really that bad. I think the town or like the way the people look at him is like the bad boy, but he's really not that bad. But he tries to like woo Melissa by singing and dancing, and then you get like this moment where she's like, thank you, and he's like, for what? He's like, for the singing and dancing, and he's like, what singing and dancing? And right there you kind of get your first clue, like, okay, what is going on? And then soon after they kind of realize like, oh crap, we're in a musical.
Mm-hmm.
And the twist is they can't leave until they
sing and dance of their own.
No, until they realize what true love is.
Shit.
Mm-hmm. Because they're going through this like turmoil, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess if you start looking a little bit ahead, I guess the reason that they're there is because there's still something wrong in the relationship that hasn't been resolved yet. So until that problem is resolved and they're able to really find love between them again, they're not allowed to leave.
Wow, that sounds like a show your girl is not ready to watch.
So it's really funny, I think
is it funny, or is it
really
gonna be
funny.
one of those things that stabs me in the stake of my heart and like does not let go?
It's funny. Like I've only seen a couple episodes so far, but it's funny. It's not too intense where it's like meant to like make you feel like all that bad, but it could get there. I don't know. It's a very
How many
short.
episodes have you seen?
2. It's 6 episodes. It's very short.
Oh, so it's a mini series.
Yeah, it's only one season so far, and that's it.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, like I said, it's funny. Like I said, I don't think it's meant to like beat you over the head with like trying to find the profound meaning of like what love is between two people. It's not that at all. Just the premise of like being in a town where every single day, if you say a certain word, people might start bursting out in like song, all that stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I found it entertaining just on the first 2 episodes I've seen. I'm gonna continue watching it because it is very short. It's only 6 episodes.
How many Ricardo stars does it get?
I give it a solid 7.
All right.
I give it a 7. Yeah. So Schmigadoon on Apple TV Plus. Cecily Strong,
really
I love
into the
you.
Apple TV stuff lately.
I love you, Cecily Strong. If I ever get to meet you, can you please just I don't know, just sign my arm somewhere. I don't know, and I'll tattoo it on myself.
All right. Okay. All right. So for my good looking out, you already know what it is. I already told you what it was going to be. It was going to be, this is something that normally I don't fuck with this genre. I don't give a crap about reality TV since the days of Rock of Love, Charm School, Flavor of Love. The OGs, the classics back in, our golden years. I don't know, back in our prime.
Mm-hmm.
When we were staying up till 10 p.m.
On a Sunday.
On a Sunday.
Most of them were Sundays.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Turning on VH1 after your mom told you to go to bed at 8:30, but you had to go see what the heck New York and Pumpkin were getting into, and Hoops
and Delicious.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I forgot about Delicious.
Shout out to Delicious.
Hilarious.
I still follow your IG page.
Of course
man.
you do. Of course
Come
you
on.
do. But ever since that era ended, I never really got into reality TV like that again. Up until this point. Issa Rae.
And that's the only reason you're watching this, by the way.
No,
If
no,
she did not,
that's what I was about to say. Okay, that's what I was about to say before you go ahead and interrupt me. Is that Issa Rae? We know her, we love her, we almost stand, but don't exactly stand for her on this show.
she stands.
No, we don't. Okay, she went ahead and she wanted to create a reality TV show, and this is the premise: is an honest and unique look into what it means to be young, black, and in constant pursuit of one's dream in the heart of South LA. So it's just basically like these black 20 somethings, like all entrepreneurs of some sorts. You have Jordan from Hypeland, if you guys are into like his clothing and stuff on Instagram and all over the internet. He's it's just basically a group of friends, and all of their ups and downs and their drama and their, dating. You guys already know what the deal is. Reality TV don't have a plot. Why are we even playing? But I think it's fantastic. I think okay, so maybe fantastic is a weird word to use. I thoroughly enjoyed myself watching this show. It's on HBO Max. And the reason why it's refreshing is, I'll be completely honest, like it actually made me stop and I didn't even tell you this, Ricardo. It actually made me stop and look at myself a certain way and actually check myself in the way that I see opulence and decadence when it comes to us minorities, and even like black people especially. You know how, because there were certain times where like I would see like and you already know how reality TV works. It's like all of these group of friends, they're like, oh, like insert plot line here. We're all gonna go to the, I don't know, what's some big vacation that they took.
They went to Cabo.
Yeah,
Cabo
yeah.
San Lucas, I think, in
Yeah.
Mexico.
They went to like Cabo, right? And they like had everything, just the red carpet lined out for them, champagne bushes, like these big giant mansions, like with like all these towering water fountains, like no, like all the drip, all the food, everything that you could possibly imagine. It was supremely extravagant. And I found myself thinking, wow, this is a little bit much. Like how are they able to afford this? They're like just like 20 somethings. Like how the heck do they even have this money? Like I guess the producers really shelled it out for this show, like this, that, and the other. And I caught myself thinking that, and I'm like, wait, how is this any different than like Bachelor in Paradise or whatever the hell, or any other show where like they take them to Tahiti and all of that stuff, and you see a bunch of like 20 or 30s something, typically white people, getting to do all of these big extravagant stuff. And I think that, and it just made me stop and evaluate myself. It's like I looked at this funny, or I thought this like just caught me by surprise, because I'm not used to us people of minority like all in one room. Literally, something that I took is like when two of the girls were like having a heart to heart, while getting their while getting like a full body massage, that they were getting massaged by white people. And I know that it's just
no, they were Mexican.
No,
they were Mexico.
No, but this wasn't the one where they were in Mexico. This was like another one.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to say, because the one in Mexico, they were definitely Mexican ladies.
No. It was like it was another, because they took like 3 out of like 3 really fancy Palm Springs. I think it was Palm Springs. Yeah, when they went to Palm Springs, is that they were getting massaged by like white people, right? And it's something so subtle, and that's the thing that Issa Rae does so well, is that like she has little ways of like driving home a point, or driving home just different perspectives without shoving it in your face, and just being like, huh. That's just an interesting touch that didn't really need to be said, but it's just like she doesn't bother getting up on a high horse to say how things should be. She just makes them what they are. And I just think that this was a very, very like entertaining, full of drama, full of scandal, all of that delicious heat that people love in your classic reality TV show. Like, you already know, what was the finale called? The group chat or whatever. Basically
that was a post reunion special.
Yeah. Basically the reunion special where everybody comes in and like hashes all their shit out, and you have like the one troublemaker in Miami that comes in and like makes everything even more dramatic and all of that bullshit. Anyway, it was full of bullshit. It was full of drama. And I loved every second of it, because that's completely unlike me. But I was thoroughly entertained, and good job, Issa. I cannot wait for season 2. So that's my Oh yeah, give it a solid, like, for its genre, solid 8 out of 10. Loved it.
Is there supposed to be a season 2?
I don't know, but I hope so. I'd watch that shit. I mean, they kind of left the whole like Bree and Jordan storyline up in the air a little bit. So like maybe there's a spin-off on that or something.
Maybe. Yeah, they could do spinoffs. Yeah, who knows? I mean, that's reality TV, man. Spinoff
Mhm.
after spinoff. I enjoyed it. I was entertained. I would say that. I was thoroughly entertained. I think as far as like the genre goes and what it did, I don't think it did anything special. To be honest, I don't think it did anything unique.
But that's the whole point, is that was the whole point. It was so special because they didn't do anything unique. Is because they literally treated it like the equivalent of everything else as it
Yeah,
should be.
exactly, and that's how I could, and that's the only way I know how to judge it.
Yeah.
I can't really judge it any other way, whether it be your traditional white cast, your more minority cast. We're here with like all black. Like I
Because
still
in,
look,
in like other reality shows, they have the white cast, but then they have like, like the token, like black girl that, gets thrown off from The Bachelor like 7
Right.
episodes in just to make sure that they don't look racist.
right, and we've seen predominantly black cast for a long time when it comes to TV reality TV shows, whether it be your Basketball Wives, your Love and Hip Hop. That's all black.
Yeah, but this is different.
Yeah, because this is different in the sense where obviously it's not like the celebrity, it's not like about the music industry, it's not about
The sports industry.
basketball wives. This is like just young people really trying to make it, and some of them are very successful, but they know they still have a long way to go.
Mhm.
That's what I like. I like seeing that. Hey, these are some people that are like they're just like one
They're
of them.
PR agents, they're real estate agents,
Some of them just
they're
like a nurse.
entrepreneurs.
Some of them just like
well, like the one.
yeah. Some of them
Brie.
like nurse.
And like that's why I love her storyline so much, is because Bree, in and of herself, she's a nurse, but she wants to, get out and start doing her own thing, and she doesn't know where to start, and she's kind of
No,
lost, and she.
Bree wasn't a nurse.
Yeah, she
That was
Well,
Bree-
then what was Bree? She's
Bree,
like
Bree
some
was
sort of
unemployed. She
something.
wasn't doing anything.
No,
the-
she was doing something.
The one with the nurse was the other one. The one that was messing with PJ. What's her name?
That was Bree in the very beginning. It was Bree and PJ.
God, what was her name?
That was Bree and PJ, bruh.
What is her name? Why am I drawing a blank right now? Not Amanda, not the one that like had the falling out with PJ on the boat. What was her name?
See, I don't know, because once you
Look
forget,
it
I
up.
start
Look it up.
forgetting.
Look it up. But she's the one that was the nurse.
No, that's not true.
Cause remember,
That's not true, because you don't remember like Bree and PJ were.
I know they were.
riding
Yeah,
in the
because she was
car
making fun of it.
together.
Because she was making fun of his car and all that.
Exactly,
But-
and then they rode to like this one place, I guess, for like Bree to get her nails done, and they were kind of flirting. Remember, because that was the beginning plot.
No, they went to go get weed.
or whatever.
Yeah. What was her name again?
I don't know.
Look it up. What?
It's not coming up.
She's
Like,
like
literally,
she's
there's
like the one that I thought was like the most prettiest.
I know who you're talking about, because she was like
Oh,
Mark-
Rebecca, Becky.
Becky.
Yeah. I think she was the one that was a nurse. I think.
I think that you're wrong. Because
I
remember
could be.
that was
I could
I'm
be.
telling you, like, you just spent this whole 2 minutes. I'm telling you that Bree was like the nurse practitioner or something like that, because she felt guilty that all of her other friends had like just all entrepreneur business. She's like, oh, I have to get on my own shit. Like, I have to have some sort of side hustle instead of just having a regular job.
Okay, you're probably right. Because I for some reason I thought Bree was unemployed and she felt. But that's why she had that whole breakdown. Remember? Because she felt bad.
She
that
wasn't
was like,
unemployed. She just had a 9 to 5, and she felt like she needed to do something more than that.
right. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a great show. I like it.
Yeah. I was gonna finish my point.
You totally forgot that we were even doing a podcast.
I was gonna finish my point. That I think it was a cool show as far as like the characters and it being entertaining, but beyond that, like I said, it's not really anything new or special in my eyes.
I mean, that's the whole, again, like, to me, that's the whole point, is that she wanted to make it so different, so not different in the fact that it was different. Like, she wanted to bring it in with a sense of normalcy. Like, yeah, like, this is just your regular ass reality TV show, but with like young up and starting, like black 20 somethings that are just trying to do their own thing.
Yeah.
And the reason why it doesn't come off like new or revolutionary or anything like that, because she's not like standing on top of any soapbox trying to beat somebody's somebody over the head with like some sort of message about like diversity or inclusivity 24/7, which I mean is all good. Like we're not gonna get into that. Like you can have that, but you can also have your shows where they already portrayed as normal because that's the way that it should be.
Right.
And that's why it's so special and it's not specialness. Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
yeah, in a way, but like I said, I can only judge it off of what it is. And to me,
That to me is what it is.
and to me, it's not. It's not special. So I have to give it a. I would give it a.
Nobody asked you what you gave it. It's my good looking out.
I would give it a 5.
Nobody. Oh my god. I'm completely disheartened, folks. So that's gonna be the end of our show. This has been ILS. This has been Vero Fuerte and Ricardo Mexicano, and we're out.
Yep.
My hope is that you see how Spanglish has closed the gap and formed a synergistic approach for communication. Thank you.